Hello everyone, my name is Michael Lamott. I am the founder of ChartYourTrade.com. Our goal is to inspire millions of hardworking people just like you to take advantage of the stock market. And today I want to talk to you about some of the things that I wish that I knew before I had gotten started in the stock market. These are things that would have saved me incredible amounts of time and also quite a bit of money because, well, when I was first starting out, I made pretty much every mistake that I think that you can make. Booms and busts of losing half of my money and taking years and years to learn the right things. So now that I have experience, now that I've been consistently successful, these are some of the things that I wish that I knew when I had first gotten started. So, number one thing that I wish that I knew when I was first getting started was I wish that I had first figured out what my goals are for all of this. Yeah, we all have the goal of, okay, well, we have our little pile of money and we want to put that in the market, and the idea is that at some point in the future it becomes more. That's what I thought that it was. That's what most of the people that I talk to when they're first starting out think that it is, but it's really a lot more challenging than that. We need to first figure out, well, what are our goals? Well, what are we trying to do here? Are we saving for retirement? Are we trying to generate some sort of a supplemental income? Is this something that we're looking to do full-time or some other combination of any of these? What is it that we're trying to do? Because the way that we're going to behave for any one of those three scenarios is going to be drastically different. It's going to, there's different time horizons. So we want to know what the goal is, but we also want to know too, what it does our current lifestyle allow us to do. So are we going to try to trade full-time? And if we do want to trade full-time, does our current lifestyle allow for that? If we're somebody that already has a full-time career, a 9-to-5 job, family, kids, all that, and you're just starting out, it's going to be a lot harder to just dive right into becoming a full-time trader because it's going to require a lot more study, a lot more education, a lot more time, like just in front of the computer and the charts and reading and researching. Well, we need to know what our lifestyle allows. And then we're going to take those two things, our current lifestyle and what our goals are. Once we figure those out, write them all down. And then we're going to try to marry those two and figure out, okay, how do I achieve my goals given where I am right now? And we want to try to bridge the gap of where we are and where we ultimately want to be. So that's the first thing that I think that everybody needs to try to do. Number two, someone has already done what you're trying to do. In fact, there's a lot of people that have already done what you're trying to do. What you need to do is figure out then who those people are and research them and figure out how they got to do what you want to do and have done it successfully. This is a little more challenging than it sounds. So let's say you want to be a long-term investor and you figured out that you're interested in value investing and you want to buy a company and hold it for many years, then maybe you want to check out Warren Buffett or people like that. If you're somebody that wants to try to swing trade, you've heard of this swing trading thing where you're you buy something, you're looking at stock charts and you're only going to hold for a short period of time, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, then that's the kind of trading that I like to do. I've put a whole bunch of information both on ChartYourTrade.com, both on this channel. Check that out. There's a lot of books that I've read too. This is a great one, How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill. Not really more of a swing trader, more of an intermediate term trader, but the methodologies in here, you could do a lot of different things with it because the kind of stuff that he talks about are the stocks that have historically gone on to make 200, 500, 1,000% or more, and looking at the common things among those kinds of stocks. And he talks about, well, what those things are. So you could scan based on the things that he talks about in here, and those stocks have a greater chance of making those kinds of gains extremely quickly. So the bottom line is, there's people that have done what you want to try to do. You want to try to surround yourself with people like that in any kind of form, whether it's a book, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a YouTube channel. Well, whatever it is, find those people, reach out to them, learn from them. This social media thing has made it so easy to reach out. Just reach out. There's so many people that have been successful and they just want to help. So definitely reach out to 10. You'll get at least one or two of them that will respond. And if you respond down in the comments below, you can bet that I'm going to try to do my best to help you out. So number 3, and this is real important too, you want to, now that you have your goals, you've done some of your research, you started to educate yourself, now you want to develop a business plan around what your methodology is going to be. Some of the things that you want to include in your business plan, and a book that's going to help you with your business plan and that helped me out quite a bit, this one right here, Super Trader by Van Tharp. Amazing book, talks a lot about developing a business plan around your trading, developing trading plans, the whole psychology of the trade, and also a lot about risk management and position sizing. Those are 2 very important things that will definitely help you succeed in trading. Position sizing, risk management, very, very important. That's even more important than the stocks that you end up picking. I know that that sounds a little crazy, but after you read this, you'll really understand why. So pick this one up no matter what kind of methodology you plan on doing. So back to developing a business plan. Some of the key things of developing a business plan. Number 1, write down all the things that you answered in number 1, all your goals and what your lifestyle is. Then figure out what you intend to trade. So what kinds of markets are you going to trade? Are you trading stocks? Are you trading ETFs? Are you already looking at cryptocurrencies? Well, whatever it is, write those things down. And you want to have a business plan. And this is a little hack that I figured out for myself after stumbling quite a bit. You want to have a business plan for each style or method that you plan on trading, and have separate accounts for each one of those, because it's going to help you really, really focus on that one. So let's say you have you find a broker that is able to provide you with everything, and you just have one master account. Great, I'm just going to put all my money in that, and I'm going to test some of this, some of that, and some of this over here. Well, I did that early on too. I had this one master account, and I was still only looking at stocks, but I was trading some of my longer term ideas in that account. I had some of my shorter term ideas in that account. And then I also started to trade options in that account. And it became very difficult to manage all the different ideas, because what would happen is I would see one idea that's, let's say, a long-term idea, but at the time, I have money tied up in some options trades. I have some money tied up in shorter term trades. They're doing okay, but this new shiny thing, this idea popped up, and I want to go do that. Well, I've got to sell something, because I'm already on margin, and I don't want to go even further on margin, but these ones haven't done anything. But this one, an idea, looks really good. So let me just sell bits and pieces of this over here and then go into that one. Well, now I'm not abiding by the plans that I had for those other ones. Those are still doing okay. Those are still abiding by the plans that I had set out, but this new shiny thing distracted me. So now I'm moving over to that. Those kinds of things end up killing your account. So what I've done, and what has helped me quite a bit become successful in all these different strategies, has been to have separate accounts for each one, where I'm only looking at shorter term swing trades in this account. I'm only looking at the intermediate term trades in this account, and I'm only looking at the long term retirement trades in this account over here. That's something that's really going to help you out a lot. So, but when you're still just starting out, just try to focus on one goal, become proficient at that before you start moving on to others. This is something that's going to last you an entire lifetime. You have a lot of time, especially if you're young. Right now, I'm 38, and I feel like I still have my whole life ahead of me. And it's great. Well, it's going to take you a little bit of time to learn this stuff, but what may take you, say, a year or 2 years to learn will last you for 30, 40, 50 years, how many years you have ahead of you. So take your time. You have a lot of it, and really learn your craft. Okay, so back to the business plan. So you want to also figure out when you intend to trade. So are you going to trade only when the market is trending higher, when the market is trending sideways? What are you going to do when the market is trending lower? Are you just going to move into cash? Are you going to try to short? Well, what kinds of things are you going to try to do? All part of the business plan still. What market types are you going to trade? That falls back into the uptrends, sideways chop, or downtrends. What are you going to do? Where are your ideas going to come from? So are you doing your own research? Are you scanning for your own things? Are you reading a newspaper or a couple of newspapers? Are you reading different blogs? Where are these ideas coming from? Are you subscribing to somebody's service? Wherever your ideas are coming from, like you should figure out where you're going to get your ideas from, and then just stick to that, because then if somebody else mentions an idea but that wasn't part of your business plan, now all of a sudden you're adding extra variables into the equation, and yeah, it might work occasionally, but now you have a larger funnel of ideas, and the point of the business plan is to be able to focus on just this over here. At least at this point. We'll get to revising the business plan. But so far, that's where we're at, where your ideas will come from, and then when and how often are you going to do your research. So this goes back to that first part about your lifestyle. And so how often does your lifestyle allow you to do this kind of research? Are you able to do it every single day? Are you able to do it at nights? Are you only able to do it on the weekend? Are you only able to do it once a month? Whatever it is, figure out what that's going to be for you and then stick to that. I understand that life changes sometimes, so some days I'll have a lot more time and I'll be able to check the market intraday. Sometimes I'm really busy and I'm in a lot of meetings and I just don't have time to look at the market at all. So what we need to do is develop a plan for our worst case scenario, or what our average day is going to be like, and maybe a little bit more crazier than that, because here's what'll happen and what happened to me and why I set it up this way. So there would be some days where I would be able to go and check the market intraday, and I would see an idea pop up, and I would try to do one of these cute trades, just trying to be in the moment, and I would go into it, and it would look great, and it would look like it's starting to work. Fantastic. Next day comes, day after that. Now all of a sudden, like, the work is starting to pile up from the day job, and I'm not able to manage that trade that looked great a couple of days ago as well as I was back then. Now there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of meetings, a lot of phone calls, and I'm not able to look at it. And that trade required a lot more attention than what I'm able to give it now. So it's better to forego the opportunities that don't fit into your lifestyle that you're able to manage, because of situations like that. Yeah, you might be able to get an occasional hit or two that way, but what I've learned too is that defense is so much more important, and sticking to the actual game plan is so much more important for the longevity of your portfolio. The way that you're going to ultimately win in the stock market is through compounding. So compounding your gains. The best way to compound your gains is to really keep your losses small. There's a lot of material on Chart Your Trade where I talk about this. There's a lot of material on this YouTube channel. Just check out some of the other videos. I'll try to link to them in the descriptions. So that's all part of the business plan. Again, Van Tharp goes into it a lot deeper in this book, so check that out. And then finally, the fourth thing that you want to do is then develop a trading plan for each trade that you're going to have. So I developed this right here. This is a trading log template. You could download it on ChartYourTrade.com. I have a stock analysis starter kit. It's free. You could get that and you could see what each one of these are. I also did a video recently describing each of these, but to go through it real quick as what some of the things you want to consider as part of your trading plan. You want to write down things like the day, the date, the time, like all the different ratings, well, what stock you're trading, the number of shares that you bought, all those things, the position size. But you also, and now here's where the meat of it starts to come in. You want to write down what your actual plan is for this trade. And you're doing all this before you actually enter the trade. So you want to write down, where do I plan to enter? Under what circumstances? Where do I plan on exiting if I'm wrong? And why am I exiting here if I'm wrong? You want to write down what you believe is the reward to risk of the trade. Typically, I like to only take trades that are at least a 3-to-1 reward to risk. So I'm going, for every dollar that I risk, I hope to make at least $3. On every trade. Doesn't always work out that way, but with that kind of a reward to risk, over the long term, I'm able to come out and win and be consistent over the long term. You want to write down your reasons and the basic idea for the trade. So why are you entering this in the first place? Is it something that you liked about the company or the stock? Is it something about the setup, something about the market? Well, whatever it is, whatever you figured out as part of the answer to question number 2, you want to write all those things down as part of that question. Where did this idea come from? Your overall feelings about the transaction. So, well, what is your gut telling you? What are your emotions telling you? When you're first starting out, it's real hard to trust your gut. You don't have a gut yet because you don't have experience. You have emotions, but after you've been doing this for several years and you start to feel something about a trade, then it's emotions, but it's also your experience talking to you as well. And you want to be very cognizant of that too, because you're starting to gain that subconsciousness that's starting to tell you, okay, something about this doesn't feel right. And it's having seen 1,000 charts and seeing something 10,000 times that's telling you that, okay, something's not quite right, or maybe something is right and you want to just act, and all those things, and you are coming up with a plan, but you don't just act. You write all the stuff down and then you go and do it, but you want to write down all of your reasons, like physically write them out. Then you want to figure out how your side of the trade feels, so how does it feel entering, but you also want to think about what the other person is thinking or feeling and why are they selling it to you. It's a very good exercise to do that on every single trade. And then you also want to back away and see the trade as a neutral observer and just see what's going on, what's the big picture, what's going on different time frames than you're trading. So if you're looking at a daily chart, what does the weekly chart look like? What does the monthly chart look like? Each one is going to tell its own story. And that's it for the trading plan. Add other things that are relevant to you, but definitely go to ChartYourTrade.com, download this. Again, it's free, and it's something that's super helpful. So you have all those 4 things. Now Now you're finally ready to go and open your account, fund your account, and start trading. It's a lot of upfront work, but that upfront work is going to save you so much extra time, so much extra money. I can't even tell you how much it's going to save you, and in both time and in money. So those are all the things that I wish that I had known and that I did when I was first starting out. Two final thoughts before I let you go. Thought number one is when you finally do fund your account, use a very small amount, an amount that you're not worried about losing if you end up losing the entire thing. When you finally do start trading, you're going to make mistakes no matter how good your plan is. And everybody takes losses, and it's a learning process. So be prepared to lose. Think of it as tuition fees, and the way to keep your tuition fees small is to keep your trading account small until you prove, and you prove by consistently being successful, that you are consistently successful, and then start allocating more dollars and let your account grow. But when you're first starting out, keep your account small, something that you're not afraid if it goes to zero. Also, the second thing that I wanted to tell you is that you're going to want to review your trading plan, and you're going to want to review your business plan probably about once a quarter, if not once a quarter, at least semi-annually. Just review the whole thing, look at all of your trades, see what's going right, see what's going wrong, make adjustments, see what kinds of things that you've learned and you maybe want to add in, and how you might want to add them in. Do that at least, do that once a quarter or at least every 6 months, and you're good to go. That's it. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, please like the video, give it a little thumbs up. That's going to help us out quite a bit. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that way you're getting all of our updates. And if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comment section below. I really want to help you through this. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate the attention, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care. Have a great day.